morning, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Clarinets, Cats, and Coffee. And my name is Callie, if you don't already know me. And, okay, Camille just found a leaf. Okay, anyway, so the main thing is I started this series, today, because I wanted, during this time, to give my viewers, a little bit of consistency in your life. So I'm going to be posting these videos on Saturday mornings, hopefully for a while, and it's just going to be, fun, lighthearted clarinet stuff. I might share some stories from teaching over the week or, experiences I've had in whatever adventures I've done. Clearly I've had no adventures right now because, well, here I am stuck in quarantine. But anyway, just talking because I kind of miss connecting with people, and I thought this would be a fun way to reach out to my viewership. And lastly, every episode is going to have a exercise of some sort. So today's exercise is going to be focusing mainly on going over the break. I've been doing a lot of work on that in lessons this week, and in listening to some recordings I've taken of myself recently. We just always need to work on that quite a bit. So actually, we really do. A couple years ago, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, I don't know, it was a number of years ago, I was at the Midwest Clinic, and for those of you who don't know what the Midwest Clinic is, it's an annual convention that happens in Chicago at McCormick Place every December, and it's a week of performances and seminars and classes and band directors, just like music educators and performers and, all of the music nerds from all over the world, really. They come to this convention once a year, and it's a whole week long. It's so much fun, and it's a great way to connect and, have a great time with colleagues and make new connections and everything. Anyway, so I was walking around the convention hall one day, and I'm not going to name names, but I'm like, oh my goodness, here's this famous person and this other famous person, these clarinet players that I really admire. And I'm just kind of standing off to the side, just kind of eavesdropping a little, because that's the kind of person I am. And I overhear the one saying, hey man, what's going on? How are you doing? How's your family? Whatever. I didn't want to listen to all that. And eventually I heard them talk about their playing. And these are guys who are world-class performers. I've been a fan of for ages, and just, following their career and recordings and stuff. And I hear them say, I've just been really unhappy with my sound, especially going over the break. So I've been working on, practicing overblowing the 12th, and I've even been doing some double lip exercises and things like that. And I was just like, what? Are you serious? You were the best clarinet player in the world, and you're not happy with your sound. So this had to have been right out of college for me, because that was when I realized oh my God, I'm gonna have to work my butt off forever. I'm never gonna be happy with how I sound if he's not happy with how he sounds. So it was also kind of liberating to hear that, because I'm like, okay, well, that just means that there's room to always get better at something. It doesn't matter if you're, in 5th grade learning how to go over the break for the first time, or you've been playing your instrument for 30 years or more, and, and you're just trying to get the right kind of sound in your legato. So, so I'm going to go ahead and take one more sip of coffee and put my instrument together so we can get our little warm-up in together. Now, while I put my instrument together, I'm just gonna tell you about this. So, let me see. A long time ago, when I finished, oh, that was rude. I'm sorry. When I finished high school, I actually got a lot of music for free from various people that I knew. I played in a bunch of community bands where I grew up, and they had a pretty huge impact on my life. And also my clarinet teacher, who was in St. Louis and had a lot of great connections. So they gave me so much music, and at the time I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this stuff. But I kept it, and well, lo and behold, little Callie, who had no idea what anything was, and well, frankly, I still don't, but this is one of the things that I was given. Now, this is available to you guys as the Klosé method. You can download it on IMSLP because it's in public domain now. But at the time, it was pretty cool because, I didn't have access to all of this because IMSLP wasn't a thing back then. And the internet was I don't know, the internet was barely a thing. I had a big old PC desktop in my dorm room. I didn't even get a cell phone until my freshman year of college. So anyway, fun thing. Yeah, but it was full of all these patterns and what? And oh my god, my favorite. Wait, can you see that? 15 grand duets. Yeah, that's grand. They're actually kind of hard. Anyway, I guess they wouldn't be hard if I had actually practiced everything, leading up to that, but I didn't. So anyway, in this method, there's this one exercise. It's on page 208 of my book. I'll include a little PDF while I play through it. But this is the one little exercise I'm going to give you guys to play through this weekend. You can do it after you do the legato exercise that I posted a couple weeks ago, or whatever warm-up you want to do before this. So my routine this morning, today, and most days, I'll do some kind of long tones, and then I will go on to some sort of technical thing. For a long time, I was really into the Krebs stuff, and so I might do some of those at some point, but I've been trying to find stuff for various students to work on different aspects of their technique, and I found this one, and while I haven't actually assigned this to any of my students yet, I think it's quite beautiful, and it's a really good one to do molto, I'm just reading it right now, okay. It's a really good one to practice legato on. So you guys, feel free to play along with me. If I'm going too fast for you, there's a way that you can actually slow down the speed of the video and it won't affect the pitch. It'll just kind of make me sound a little bit like a robot. But if you don't mind robot clarinet sounds, that works out pretty well when you're trying to practice stuff with someone. And a student of mine who actually transcribes a lot of jazz stuff, she was the one who told me that that's a thing you can do, which I don't know, I never even thought of doing because I thought it would affect the sound, but yeah, but it works pretty well. I'll do this maybe right before Albert scales or right after, and before I practice any of my repertoire or whatever else I'm going to work on. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you find it helpful. And let's see. Lastly, if you guys are having trouble getting a smooth transition going over the break, you'll want to just make sure that you have enough air behind the reed. Just imagine that there's this unyielding tube of air going at the instrument while you play, and your legato will be fine. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, enjoy. So I hope you guys find that helpful. I actually found that to be really difficult. I took maybe 15 takes of myself playing that. I wasn't warmed up before I played it, so I was having some issues, and I had to find a good reed and everything. But anyway, yeah, the main thing you want to do is just make sure you're not squeaking when you go over the break or below the break. And you also want to make sure the notes are very well connected with the air, which is very hard to do, and it's a lot of work. But just a beautiful little etude, and I find it enjoyable to play, and it's kind of meditative. Now, for those of you who don't know, I also have a Patreon account. There's a $3 tier, which is like, hey, Callie, I like what you're doing, keep it up. There's a $9 tier, which is where you will get to download like the PDFs, excuse me, where you get to download the PDFs and stuff of the music. The $25 tier, you actually get all the stuff in the other tiers, plus feedback from a recording of yourself directly from me. And then the $50 tier, you get a private lesson, recording feedback, and all the other stuff to go along with it. Now, don't feel obligated to follow me or support me on Patreon. I'm putting these videos out there just to generally help the clarinet community and keep everybody practicing and inspired and excited. So if that's working for you, thank you so much for watching. Now, the last thing is, if you happen to have an Instagram account, be sure to record yourself or take a photo of yourself doing this little exercise and tag me in it. I'm Callie Clarinet. Also use the hashtag Clarinets, Cats, and Coffee. And that's pretty much it. So, you all have a great weekend. Be sure to stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Happy practicing!